Can I ask a dumb one?
Yes, you can. You're probably asking a dumb person, but ask away.
You're not dumb either, okay? All right, so this question comes from Janelle. I love this question. We were chatting, Janelle and I think we've talked about a lot about the psychology of money, and I feel like this goes into it as well. So let's read Janelle's question. She says, I'm 50 years old and have three children, one in his freshman year in college, a senior in high school, and an eighth grader. They all have 529 accounts. My husband died in December, and I have his life insurance money sitting in a Vanguard Cash Plus money market account. I need to be able to have access to this money, i.e., not put it into a 401k, but would like it to grow over the next 5 to 10 years. I would like to invest $250,000 and don't know where to start. I'm a teacher and can retire in June, collect my pension, and be able to get another job if I need to. What should Janelle do?
Hey, Janelle. So, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss, losing your husband with three kids when you're 50. I mean, I'm 45. We're almost the exact same age. I can't imagine. It just feels like you're at the beginning of your life and you've been spending your whole life looking forward to your whole life, and the next 30 or 40 years ahead of you, and to have that taken away is heartbreaking. I'm very sorry. So the first piece of advice I'd give is it's okay to do nothing for a while. I think the worst thing you could do is have some sort of emotional or knee jerk or panicked or, you know, time pressure reaction in this moment. And it's okay to do nothing. And your money is sitting in a money market fund, which is the perfect place for it. It's not even been a year yet. This is still November. And so in the first year after your husband has passed, doing nothing is a really good thing to do. And it could be another year. 1 year, 2 years, that's a small amount of time. You're not going to miss some huge opportunity. The second piece of advice I'd give is to start learning. When you're ready, it can wait again because see thing one, do nothing. But when you're ready, start learning. And you never want to invest in something you don't understand. And so, in actually the next episode, because we record these out of order, I
Yeah.
talked about a chicken who was plump for the ripe for the a fox coming and going after him. You
Uh-huh.
know, you don't want. There are lots of foxes hunting in the financial services industry who would love to take your money and put it into whatever they will make them the most money. And actually, there's that recent article about Rowdy Bush he's a NASCAR driver. I assume NASCAR is the part of the Venn diagram that you and I both have zero clue about.
Definitely not.
Literally only learned this man's name because he got involved in the insurance world. But he put $10 million into an insurance policy under the promise that it would start generating $800,000 a year of tax-free income, according to his insurance
Oh my
salesperson.
God.
After he put his $10 million in, the next bill came to keep this policy active. And he's like, what do you mean next bill? I thought this is when you start paying me $800,000 a year. The insurance salesman hemmed and hawed. The guy looked at his policy. That $10 million had grown to the stately sum of $2 million or something like that. Or I figure if it's 1.5 or 2 million, but he lost like $8 million on this
Oh
thing.
my God.
And now he's like going public. And, and this sick thing about that is like the numbers are so big. You're like, but it happens to widows for $100,000 all the time. Their 100,000 becomes 20. And they're like, well, what happened? That happens. Like I got taken because that's the industry. That's the finance industry. And it's not, it doesn't need to be. And so advice two is start learning. Learn about investing. Never invest in something you don't understand. And we have an investing course that's $99. I'm going to give it to you for free, Janelle. So Jen's going to send it to you. And I want you to take it. And it's like, there's no secrets in the investing course. It talks about what we talk about on this podcast, on the Instagram, on the YouTube, the basics. What's a stock? What's a bond? What's a mutual fund? What's an index fund? How do you buy and hold these things? What buttons do you click on which websites? Once you do it a little bit, it starts to make sense. And so in this learning process, which is still advice number two, I want you to take $100 and go open up, the $100 you didn't spend on this in this course. Go open up an investment account. Not with us, with Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. These are, big online low fee brokerages. And you can put it into a regular old brokerage account. So you said not a 401k, a regular brokerage account, and you can put money in and out whenever you want. There's no age restrictions or anything like that. And just watch it for a while. Don't make your first toe dipping into the investment world, the $250,000 one. Make
Mm-hmm.
it the $100 one. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think once you see, like, oh, I heard on the news this Nvidia bubble is going to crash and like the sky's falling. My 100, which became 105, is now 103. It's actually not that big of a deal. I get it now. It's starting to, the level of volatility I'm becoming more comfortable with. And then you can start to say, okay, let me start doing maybe $10,000 a month for 25 months, 2 years later, then you can get into the market. I think the more slow approach is better. And then 3, I would say, hey, you kind of have a lot going on here. You've got a pension, you've got a lot of money, you've got some kids, you've got 529 accounts. This is, this is beyond the scope of a podcast answer, frankly. And so I would talk to a pro. And when you go and talk to a pro, you need to watch out because a lot of those pros, they're commissioned salespeople. They're just pushing products where it makes the most money, i.e., see insurance salesman or financial services salesman. And many of the rest of them only make money by taking your assets under management, and they make money by charging you an annual fee. And that's less bad, but still, there's usually this conflict of interest where they're not really interested in giving you advice. They're interested in just keeping all your money under their custody so they can charge you for it every year. My preferred method is find a flat fee advisor. This is someone you can pay by the hour or by the project. Maybe just 2 or 3 hours with a financial advisor could solve all these problems for you. And, now this is the plug. When I used to give that pitch, people would ask, great, how do I find a financial advisor that charges a flat fee? And my answer was, I have no idea. That's why we started Nectarine, which is a marketplace of flat fee financial advisors. And here's the deal, Janelle. If you finish the investing course, because I don't want you to even talk to a financial advisor until you know the basics, because you won't have a nose for the difference between an insurance scam and an altruistic, index fund advisor if you don't know the basics. So if you finish the index fund course, which takes about 8 hours, take it for an hour a night for over the course of 2 months, or an hour a week, over the course of 2 months. Or you can binge it in 3 days if you want, whatever you want. But if you finish it, then we're going to give you a session with a Nectarine advisor too. And because
Ooh.
I want the best for you. I want the best for everyone. I wish I could give it for free to everyone, but we're trying to make a living too.
Mm-hmm.
And so once those are the 3 pieces of advice. Do nothing for a while. Another year would be fine. Start by learning and investing $100 in a regular brokerage account. Go buy yourself $100 worth of VT, the Vanguard Total World Stock Market ETF. See how it does. And 3, talk to a pro, flat fee advisor. You can find them on hellonectarine.com, and we'll give you the investing course and we'll give you the Nectarine session.
Wow. That's amazing. I did not know you were going to do that.
Surprise! It's a
Yay,
surprise for
that's
Jen
very
too. She's
nice
like,
of
great,
you.
more work. I have to go.
No, not at all. No, the reason I mentioned the psychology of money before is because Janelle and I were chatting a little bit behind the scenes as I was just asking her about the question a little bit more. And she actually mentioned the dead box. And she said that's something that she wished she had done before her husband passed. Because when you're in the fog of grief, then it's really hard to sort all these things out. So I think that, we answer these money questions and talk about all these terms that we just try to unpack them, but there's like all this psychology underneath just the actual factual act of an opening investment accounts. And there's always context that makes you make really huge decisions that can change your life. So I really wanted to get this question answered, and I really appreciate your answer and your generosity. And I'm sure that Janelle will as well. So thank you for that. And thank you for answering the question.
Of course, yeah. Wish you the best. It's crazy to lose your spouse that young, and dead box too. We all think we're gonna die when we're 100 or whatever, but that's why you got I update my dead box every year. I have been for the last 10 years. And if you don't know what the dead box is, we should talk about the dead box in the
We'll
future
do it.
episode.
Yeah, we'll do it in another episode. Awesome.